Well, guys, Hillary Clinton has officially become the fat acceptance candidate.
But this is a man who has called women pigs, slobs, and dogs, and someone who has said pregnancy is an inconvenience to employers.
Well, it is. I mean, that's just a fact, you stupid bitch. But anyways, let's stay on topic here. So, after the debate, Hillary Clinton's Twitter page has gone on a massive fat acceptance rampage. Like, every day since the debate, there's been multiple tweets put up about how evil Donald Trump is for telling or calling some women fat and asking them to lose weight when they're working for his fucking beauty pageant. Here's one tweet. Hillary Clinton goes, she's quoting Trump, "She gained a massive amount of weight. It was a real problem." Trump this morning on Alicia Machado. And of course, here's this, new Hillary Clinton ad, targeting feminist brains, telling them it's okay. If a man rejected you, it's not your fault. They're just a bunch of misogynists. Keep eating your way into an early grave. Take a look at this snippet from her ad.
She ate like a pig.
And of course, they cut to the somewhat obese girl trying to fit on her clothing. She is targeting fat women with the fat acceptance mantra. Here's another tweet. She's quoting Trump. "She gained about 55 pounds in 9 months. She was like an eating machine. Trump, a man who wants to be president." As if stating that a woman eats too much is somehow a disqualifier from being president of the United States. This is how childish and infantile these Democrat liberals are, which is why they're going extinct very quickly.
You've called women you don't like fat pigs, dogs, slobs. Your Twitter account.
Only Rosie O'Donnell.
No, it wasn't.
Here we go. Another tweet by Hillary Clinton. 20 years after Donald bullied a beauty pageant winner for her weight, the real problem is still Donald. Okay, everything is about weight and about how evil Trump is for fat shaming and how we should accept women for their weight. Here's another one by Hillary Clinton. "A man who bullies and shames a woman for her weight should never become president." Hillary Clinton is advocating fat acceptance. Let's take a look. Shortly after winning the pageant, Alicia gained some weight. Trump threatened to take her crown away. Yeah, just like if you're a man and you're in a bodybuilding competition and your whole purpose is to be incredibly built and to have minimal body fat, if you start stuffing your face and you start to get fat, you will lose your trophy in the bodybuilding competition. This is not sexism. This is not anti-woman discrimination. This is not the patriarchy. This is the reality of the competitive marketplace. If you're going to get into a beauty competition, you have to stay beautiful.
Pounds or 100. She weighed 118 pounds or 117 pounds, and she went up to 160 or 70. So this is somebody that likes to eat.
Well, yeah, it's just a fact. So this idea, oh, I'm oppressed, oh, it's so bad. I love it. I love how this fucking model girl, the one who claims that she's oppressed by Trump, her basis for being oppressed by Trump is that he said, "Stop eating so much. You're in a beauty fucking pageant." Like that's like if Conor McGregor's fucking training coach saw Conor McGregor eating too many Big Macs and he was getting fat as shit and he wasn't going to make the weight for his next fight. And Conor McGregor's coach says, "Hey, Conor, you might want to put down the burgers. You're not only are you going to fuck up your health, but you're not going to make the weight for this competition you're in, this UFC fight." And that'd be like Conor McGregor crying and complaining and saying that he's oppressed because he's being body shamed and fat shamed because his coach is telling him, "Stay fit, don't eat so many fucking Big Macs." To quote Donald Trump, "Stop being an eating machine." It's just learning to overcome adversity so you can improve yourself in life. One of my favorite books, believe it or not, and it has everything to do with this whole fat acceptance, this idea of let's slide into mediocrity, let's slide into our comfort zone, when paradoxically, if you look at some of the most successful and empowered people in the world, it's the adversity that they faced. It's the hardships they went through that helped them develop into more empowered people. This book, The 50th Law, written by Robert Greene. He's the guy who wrote 48 Laws of Power, pretty popular book. I didn't really like 48 Laws of Power, but The 50th Law is one of my favorite books. It's actually about 50 Cent, the rapper. Now, I hate rap. I hate gangster rap I hate gangster rap music. I think it's fucking retarded. Nonetheless, there are interesting principles that you can learn about life and overcoming hardships, and the author does it through the lens of 50 Cent and his tough upbringing, being shot at and being part of like gangs and all types of crazy shit. So again, I'll put the link to this book in the description below. And by the way, you could actually get this book for free if you get it in an audiobook format. You sign up for Audible, they give you your first audiobook for free. So again, I'll put the link to this book in the description below. So this is insane. Now, the cherry on top, I mean, well, not yet, but I guess I'll play this too. Here's Michelle Obama.
If a candidate regularly and flippantly makes cruel and insulting comments about women,
Shut your face. So then we have this obese feminist. I forget what her name is, Lindy West or something like that. This obese feminist. She writes an article. Fat people rise up. We could swing this election. And she goes, it's time white supremacist whoopee cushion Donald Trump was hurled back into obscurity by a coalition of. And here she goes. She lists every fucking victim class: women, Muslims, veterans, LGBT people, and fat people. And here we have her just talking about how evil it is that Donald Trump makes fun of fat people and fat people are oppressed. This is what really bothers me the most about the whole fat acceptance crowd. They portray themselves as victims when clearly they are some of the most privileged people in the world, okay? Because being a victim, okay, doesn't mean having the first world luxury to stuff your face with food. I mean, listen to the victim mentality this obese land whale executes while being interviewed. Watch.
I do agree that there is stigma that I have to deal with because I am fat.
Oh, it's so hard. People criticize me because I have the first world luxury to stuff food in my mouth all day. Oh, it's so bad. How could you possibly turn such a privileged life into a victim complex? There is, I mean, okay, you want to see a victim? This obese, privileged, fat fuck is not a victim. You want to know what a victim is? This is a victim. Starving African children who have no access to food and are fucking shriveling up. This is a victim. This is a privileged land whale. Okay, let's keep going. This is a victim. Starving, malnourished, lack of access to food. That's a victim. This is a privileged first world spoiled brat bully who is being enabled by a society that apparently, as far as Hillary Clinton and her supporters are concerned, a society that not only wants you to accept your fatness, but to even glorify it. To even say that being fat is beautiful. Take a look at what this obese land whale says next.
But I'm actually really in celebration of my body. I find beauty in diversity. I think we come in all shapes and sizes. And the assumption that we've dealt with a lot on this show is that just because you're obese, you must overeat. You must have an eating disorder. I know that not to be the case. I know you can have a healthy relationship.
Now, Mimi, you say this is misleading. Go have at it a little bit.
Anyway, so you see that. So it's a celebration of obesity. Okay? And let me tell you something. This lady claims that she doesn't overeat. Give me a fucking break. I mean, it's crazy the rationalizations that these professional victims will go through to justify their privilege. Of course, I say privilege ironically because they're the ones claiming that white people are privileged and, you know, all you thin people have your thin privilege. Give me a fucking break. Okay? This is privilege. Okay? This is privilege. This is privilege. This is not being a victim. So again, I just think it's ridiculous that Hillary Clinton has gotten so desperate that she has literally become the fat acceptance candidate. That is how low the left and Democrats have had to stoop. They have to appeal to the lowest common denominator. And yes, I say lowest common denominator because any obese person with the privilege to stuff their face with food, yet claim they're somehow victims of something, that is not a victim. Okay, that is somebody who needs to be told the truth. That is somebody who every morning when they wake up and they look in the mirror and they see how fat they are, they put up a massive fucking mental Berlin Wall to deny the fact that they've been eating too much, because it feels better to stuff your face in the moment than to defer gratification, work out, resist your impulses, and develop better habits. I've lost a lot of weight in the past 9 months. I'm fucking so happy that I've gained control over my eating impulses. And let me just play this in the background. And you know, I am just so fucking glad that I overcame my impulses. I'm so glad that I didn't rationalize what is an undeniably bad habit by saying, oh, it's okay, you know, I celebrate the diversity, people come in different shapes and sizes, fat is good. Fat, I mean, some people could get into a very subjective argument about whether or not being obese is a good thing. You know, or maybe it's not even a bad thing. Maybe you could just say that being obese is just a subjective thing and there's no such thing as an objective standard of beauty. It's not about the physical body. Okay, I would argue that the reason thin, fit, healthy people are deemed physically attractive is not necessarily because of what the body looks like. It's because of what the fit, ripped, and healthy body represents. A healthy body represents something about a person's internal state of mind. It represents control over their habits. It represents a capacity to not just mindlessly stuff shit down your throat. It represents liberation from food slavery. It represents being able to drive by a fast food restaurant and not having to fucking screech the car over, turn over and pull through the drive-thru to get something to eat because the fucking masterful manipulative marketing of McDonald's and Burger King have infected your fucking brain. As the fucking little vents at the fast food restaurant pump the smell of the fucking burgers cooking out into the street, luring you in seductively. So the point is that I would argue that the reason somebody who has a fit, healthy body, the reason that body is appealing is not necessarily because of what the body looks like, but because of what the body represents. It represents empowerment. It represents control over your body, which is a liberating and lucid state of being to be in, as opposed to being a literal slave to Skittles and Snickers and ice cream and fucking cheeseburgers and whatever else it is you fucking eat. All right? You have no control. You decided that it's better to stuff your face with food than it is to defer gratification and get happiness in life from something other than the emotional pleasure that comes with eating. And let me tell you, of all the shitty hobbies you could ever fucking have, eating has to be the worst fucking hobby. In fact, that's one of the tricks that I think helped me regain control over my diet, which has led me to lose a ton of weight over the past 9 months, where I'm fucking exercising more than I ever have. I exercise 6 days a week, and every exercise every day is like brutal. One of the tricks I did was, well, I assumed that part of the reason I couldn't lose the weight, part of the reason I couldn't overcome my addiction to shitty food was because I started to get happiness from food. Food was the thing I looked forward to every day. Now, although I was never really obese, I was a bit overweight and I had some fat to lose, and I was going up in weight, and it was a bad trajectory. And if I would have kept going down that path, I probably weighed 250 fucking pounds right now, as opposed to the 185-ish that I weigh right now. With, by the way, a nice amount of muscle packed on over the past 9 months. So here's the deal. The thing that I did that I think played a major role in helping me overcome my addiction to eating shitty food, getting an emotional happiness from food, was I decided to replace. It was like every day, one of the things I looked forward to the most was eating shitty food. So I realized, well, if I get a sense of happiness from stuffing my face every day, then it's probably important that I find something else to replace my food addiction with. So instead of waking up every day and looking forward to eating as my emotional happiness, I told myself, okay, the next time when I wake up today, the moment I feel a need to go out and eat shitty fast food, Instead of doing that, fill that emotional void of boredom that craves food as a form of excitement. Fill that void with something else, anything else. One of the things I used at first was video games, because video games is the cheapest, easiest, most accessible form of escapism I could find. So in the moment I would feel hungry and had a desire to eat, I would immediately say, okay, shut that off, run straight to the video games, and I'd fucking play whatever video game I had, and I would try to fill up my emotional needs, which I usually filled up with food. I would fill it with a fucking video game. Now, I don't know if that's the thing that helped me overcome my addiction to shit food. Maybe it did. Maybe it was one contributing factor, a small part, or maybe it was the whole thing. I don't know. And by the way, for anybody curious, no, I'm not addicted to video games. I didn't just replace one addiction with the other. I actually barely play video games. So the video games is just an intermediary to get me off the addiction to food. I don't touch video games, barely. So, actually, past 2 weeks I have been playing the shit out of Rocket League, which is a fun fucking game. But I only play like once a week. So, and I was eventually able to get off my addiction to food. And I've never been in better shape in my life. I've never had more control over my dietary impulses. In fact, it's got to the point now where I don't even have the impulses to go eat shitty, excessive food. Barely. I can go most of the week without having a fucking crazy urge to run to fucking Burger King or wherever the fucking disgusting, demonic, hellhole fast food restaurant is nearby. And I'm glad for that. And I'll tell you one thing. If you're an obese person and you're fucking listening to Hillary Clinton and you're listening to her talk about how evil it is to shame a man who bullies and shames a woman for her weight should never become president, well, you know what? That helps rationalize in your mind that your shitty self-destructive habits are okay. Beauty is just subjective. Beauty comes in all shapes and sizes. Again, I don't think it's about the way you look. It's not about what you look like. Okay, it's not that beauty is a certain shape. It's that what does this fat, rotund shape say about who you are as a person? It says you have no control over your impulses. It says that you're willing to destroy your body now just because you want to feel good stuffing your face with fucking food. And I say this as a recovering food addict. Or should I say, shitty food addict. As a recovering, excessive calorie consumer. Okay? So I'm not saying it to bash you and say you're a bad person. I'm saying be rational and stop trying to tell people that it's okay to be this obese fucking land whale. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. That's my fucking rant. Fight back against YouTube censorship by supporting me on Patreon. You'll also get access to exclusive, never-before-seen videos and other perks like monthly Google Hangouts with me, free books and t-shirts, and more.
So, if you become president, will a woman make the same as a man?
You're going to make the same if you do as good a job.